When I first played Diddy Kong Racing, it was during the holidays in 1997. My friend had just gotten an N64 and brought out this weird new racing game. It's not Mario Kart, it's something else. I didn't know what to think. We'd all played Mario Kart 64 to death. So when he popped this cartridge in, I rolled my eyes, and then he handed me the controller. Within 10 minutes, I was hooked. Back in the day, I didn't realize this game started life as something completely different. Rare had been working on Pro-Am 64, the follow-up to the NES Classic, and before that, an adventure game called Wild Cartoon Kingdom. Rare pushed Diddy into the lead role because Banjo-Kazooie was delayed, and that decision changed everything. Here's what you need to understand. It's not Mario Kart 64 with a new coat of paint. There's no Grand Prix mode. Instead, you have Adventure mode. You start in a fully explorable hub world called Timbers Island. No menu screens telling you what to do next, just exploration. Now let's talk about the vehicles. You have the car. The hovercraft glides over sand and water, but it drifts like a brick on ice. I hated it at first. And then the airplane. Each vehicle had its own strengths and weaknesses. While every track is designed to be playable with all three, the optimal route changes depending on what you're driving. That brings me to the power-up system. 5 balloon colors. Red gives you homing missiles, blue gives you a speed boost, yellow gives a shield, green drops a trap, and rainbow gives a magnet. If you pick up 2 of the same color, the power-up increases. 3 balloons, and it upgrades again. I loved this system because it rewarded knowledge of the tracks and balancing the risk of when to use a power-up or when to save and upgrade it for an even greater effect. Then there are the bananas. Collect 10 and your top speed permanently increases for that race. But if you get hit, you lose 2 bananas, so this tension made the gameplay really addictive and fun. Now let's talk about how it looks. Diddy Kong Racing runs at a solid frame rate most of the time. Ancient Lake has gorgeous waterfalls and dinosaurs. Snowflake Mountain has actual snow physics. Future Funland is a wild neon sci-fi theme park, which you only unlock after beating the final boss the first time. And what impressed me most was the lack of fog. Rare managed to minimize that. The draw distance wasn't perfect, but for the N64, it was pretty impressive. Now, let's talk about the audio, because David Wise deserves a medal. The main hub theme is bouncy and adventurous. Ancient Lake sounds like a lost 90s dance track. And that boss battle theme is burned into my brain. Just take a listen. Now, I've got to be honest about 3 things I don't really like. First, the difficulty curve is a nightmare. The first few worlds are fine, but then Snowflake Mountain hits, and suddenly the AI is perfect. The other racers somehow know all of the shortcuts and perfect racing runs. The boss races? WizPig's first race is notoriously unfair. I remember throwing my controller more than once. Second, the repetition. To unlock everything, you have to replay tracks constantly. Beat the race, then beat it again to collect silver coins, then beat the boss. Even as a kid, I felt the grind. Third, the multiplayer mode just felt too thin. My friends and I always went back to Mario Kart after half an hour. So let's put it all together. Do the pros outweigh the cons? Yes, because no other racer on the N64 had that same sense of exploration. The hub world alone adds hours of discovery. Finding TT the Clock hidden in the hub. Driving off a waterfall to find a secret track. Beating all silver coin challenges, unlocking a new character. And the game sold 4.8 million copies worldwide. That makes it the 8th best-selling game on the N64. Ahead of Banjo-Kazooie, Star Fox 64, and Donkey Kong 64. That's not nothing. Nintendo allocated $20 million to marketing this game in North America alone. If you've never played this game, go find a way to experience it. The N64 version is still the best, and the DS remake changed the engine and made the controls feel too floaty. So here I am all these years later, still thinking about that first race at my friend's house. Diddy Kong Racing is not perfect, but it tried something different. Rare took a risk, and for one holiday season back in 1997, it really paid off. Alright my friends, this is the Retro Gaming Boss signing out. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Alright! Now Dirk, you were the first human to experience the Diddy Kong adventure, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
What exactly happened? So you were trying to pick up a balloon, but you were sideswiped by a squirrel, hit an oil slick, and smashed into the hind leg of a brontosaurus? Dirk, was Diddy a part of this? Tragic.